Hi, I'm back. I'm back. I was trying to start streaming almost an hour ago, but my this camera, was being a jerk and not connecting to my computer. And the way I fixed it was by restarting my computer. So thanks, technology. But anyway, I'm going to do some stitching. That's what I may not do stitching the entire time, but I really wanted to get a little bit of stitching done. I can't do very good stitching of this attached to my desk with this, and this camera's like super wobbly today. I don't know why it's extra wobbly, but anyway, so where was I going with that? I can't have it in the desk because I have to flip it over a lot. So apologies that it'll be super wobbly pretty much. Okay, but the cool thing is instead of this pattern, which is a little bit confusing, I'm actually going to email the pattern designer and suggest something that she does for part 2. But I've got the pattern in a better way on my screen in front of me. So hopefully that works out a lot better. It means I'm going to be like to check things occasionally. But before I like really get started, I have a better setup. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, right. I have 3 monitors now. I have one up here, I have one here, and I have my main monitor here. So I have a new one that's up here, which is super helpful. You'll see me like peering up. No, I won't change it. Because up on top is where I've got my streaming information, basically. So that's super cool. I'm just gonna adjust how I'm sitting. Wobble, wobble. Could we not? Wonder if I could do this. Hey, that might actually stop it from wobbling a little. That's better lighting too. Okay. Here. So yeah, I haven't streamed this year. This is the first time for 2023 that I am streaming. The last couple of Wednesdays, I've either really not felt it. Last Wednesday, I totally forgot. I just, yeah, life, basically. I finally put this in a Q-snap as well. I've just been doing this in hand and with all of the excess fabric for the rest of the piece. It's been driving me bonkers. I had it in a hoop to begin with. You can kind of see the circle that hasn't faded yet because I haven't ironed it or anything. And the hoop was driving me batty. Couldn't stand that. But yeah, there's a lot of little tiny areas, as you can see, with just a couple of cuts. Oh my god, I've been following you on Instagram for a hot minute, and I'm just now hearing your accent for the first time. I love it. Yes, I'm not American. I do sometimes post. Sorry, first of all, hi. Thank you so much for following me on Instagram. But yeah, I do sometimes post videos of me chatting in my Instagram stories, but not too often. So yeah, I am Australian. So I have I have the accent. But I do live in America. So there is that. I get the whole, oh my god, I love your accent so much. I don't get tired of it. It's nice to hear the compliment because I don't have an accent. I don't hear an accent. I just hear me. I hear how I sound. I just put a knot in my, look at that. How did I manage that? I didn't pull it too tight, thankfully. Okay, I don't even know how I got rid of it just then, but I did. So that happened. Alright, we've got a bunch of little yellow like blips around here. So I am going to do a lot more flipping. How long have you lived in Washington? I've been here since May 2020. So we moved here from California during COVID, which was not fun. Do not recommend moving house with 2 young kids interstate during a pandemic. 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, we moved from Southern California. We were in LA before we moved to the greater Seattle area. I'm trying to hold this steady, but it's not doing a very good job today. It's because I've moved over to this side of the piece. Also, dream of mine to move there someday. Where are you? If you don't mind saying. Oh my gosh, I can't find the hole. There we go. That's what she said. I love me a good that's what she said joke. Yeah, we're about I think about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Seattle. We were a bit closer to Seattle for a year before we moved out here and bought a house. Skizzers! I need some scissors. Kansas, specifically Overland Park, which is like 20 minutes from Kansas City. I will totally believe you because I don't know geography on a good day. I especially don't know specific geography when it comes to America. Geography was not a strong subject for me. And we're down here. Flip! I'm trying not to bonk my camera today. But yeah, we've been living in America now for 7 years. We moved just at the end of 2015, just after Christmas. And I miss it. Mostly because we haven't been able to go back for years. Oh my god, my washing machine is actually shaking my desk. I can feel like my desk sort of going very slightly. Oh, actually, no, it's probably not my washing machine. It's probably my cat. I just realized that she's licking herself. I made a cat trap slash cat bed out of the box that my canvas light came in because it was a really good size for a cat bed. So I folded it nicely and put a little pillow in it. And my cat, who usually wants absolutely nothing to do with anyone in the family, has claimed it. And now whenever I sit at my desk, she runs in and she sits with me. And she was, just licking herself. Now she's kneading, which is super cute. I love it when cats knead. Why did you decide to move here from Australia? I don't mind you asking me that. We moved because my husband, the company he was working for in Australia, wanted to build up their presence in America, and so they moved a couple of people from their office in Victoria over to the States to like help build up and connect the two offices together. And then about a year and a half into that, he got another job offer from his dream company, which never ever work for your dream company because he was sorely disappointed with their ethics and everything. So yeah, we moved, and he was there for 2 years, and then got another job offer, and then we moved. We've moved a lot of times in America. We moved to San Diego first, so we have slowly moved up the West Coast, basically. Because the three places we lived in California were all Southern California and all slowly more north. And this oh, fuzzy. This piece is going to be super cute. I'm trying to make sure that I stay caught up. And I don't have a lot more time left for this month because this pattern designer is releasing each part of the stitch along each month. You born and raised in Kansas? Like, have you lived elsewhere? Oh man, this is so much easier to see with the right placement on the pattern. So I'm not going to show it like here, but this pattern, this up close, I like to print out my patterns. This up close version, because I'm working in you can sort of see that I'm working in the very bottom left. That's the very start of the pattern, but it's not exactly 40 squares high. You see this like little pink flower is taller. It's actually 42, but the way she's done the pattern is from 0 to 42, and so it's really hard. I had to print out what I'm looking at on the screen here, which is the whole pattern. It's the placement pattern. I've had to look at that to figure out where to put the squares. It's really annoying. Hi, I want to offer promotion. Oh, no thanks. I'm good. I don't know how to get rid of that. You know what? I'll bring up Twitch dashboard. so I can get rid of stuff like that. Are these in different cities? Oh, my monitor's a bit overlaid. Let's go like that. Lived in different cities in Kansas, but all in one general area, so not all over the place. I've also lived in Missouri for a bit when I was in college. And college is confusing to me. I'm gonna have to figure it out when my kids get older. Oh, don't make me log in. I should already be logged in. Twitch is annoying when you aren't logged in. Well, for me, at least, because I've got a 2 thing. Oh no. It's sending it to an email that I haven't got working right now. Can I do it from... No. Yeah, okay, I can't do that. Anyway, yeah, the email I have set up for Twitch is an account that I'm having issues with. I thought I'd changed it, but apparently not. I don't have the Twitch app on my phone, so I can't go in and change it. I have a big cat hair right where I'm working. There we go. That would be yours, Zoe. Thanks for that. Zoe's the cat that I was talking about. She's over there. She's like a pig in shit. She's so happy. It's like your favorite place to be lately. So I'm assuming you had your kids in the US there on the younger side. My oldest was born in Australia. She was 18 months when we moved, and yeah, my youngest was born here, so she's a dual citizen. She has been to Australia once, which is not enough, in my opinion. Mostly because I want to go back. I want to see family. I want to be a tourist in my own country. I want to take my kids to go see the amazing countryside and everything. Plus, she was only 2 when we went. We had plans to go in June 2020, but as you can probably imagine, that didn't happen. Still trying to not hit my camera. Yeah, it's super helpful having one kid as a dual citizen. I feel bad for my oldest because she doesn't get the benefits. But like, we didn't plan on moving to a different country when we were pregnant with my oldest. Hello, hello, how's the stitching going today? Good. I'm holding in hand, well, ish, holding the Q-snap in hand, so it's a bit wobbly. Are you stitching anything at the moment? I'd say tonight, but I gotta remind myself that people are in different time zones. Does Australia really have those huge spiders and like fields of cobwebs? Yes, they do. Absolutely. The cobweb thing is absolutely true. It's not very common. But yes, it's terrifying. They're full of spiders. And yes, there are giant spiders. There are spiders that are bigger than birds. They're literally called bird-eating spiders, and they are real. There are spiders called huntsman spiders, which like to live in your house, and they are completely harmless, but they look absolutely terrifying. And if they feel threatened, they will run at you and pretend that they're going to hurt you, which is also absolutely terrifying. But they're a really good sign that it's going to rain soon, because that's why they want to come into your house. They don't want to get wet. I wish I'm at work at the moment. Ah, womp womp. What do you do for work, if you don't mind saying? I assume you saying that you're at work, that probably means that you're like, Australia time zone, because where I am, oh, pardon me, where I am is 9:15 in the evening. Once I get to a specific color, if I do tonight, I will set up my desk stand. The big cow. Big cow. I haven't done, as you'd see, I haven't done all of the main color of the cow. So once I get to that, I will put it in this. So with them being so big, do you squish them? Can you squish them? Yes, East Coast. Oh my gosh. Third shift, yeah, of course. I drive a forklift. It's pretty dead tonight. Oh well, that's good that it's quiet. It can be nice to have a quiet work night. I find that a lot of my viewers are actually in Australia, mostly. Oh, I'm losing my voice. Mostly because I have Australia in my my tags. I'm gonna turn it. I'm sorry. That way I can hold it better and more steady. So with them being so big, do you squish them? Can you squish them? You could, but it would make a mess. I guess I was the way that it was handled when I was growing up was you get like an empty container, and you catch them, and then you put a piece of paper, which would always usually in my house be like junk mail. There's always junk mail, and you don't care about it, so it's going to get thrown out anyway. And then you carry it and you take it outside, because then it's where it wants to be. And huntsmans are actually really good. They get rid of all the bugs that you don't want in your garden as well. But they're terrifying. But a lot of spiders are dangerous. So if you were to squish them, then that could be a problem. But the cobweb thing is not like, it doesn't happen in rural Australia, really. My brother-in-law got bit by I think a whitetail spider on his face, and it actually like killed the skin, like part of his cheek on his face. This tiny little spider like did a massive amount of damage to the skin on his face. It's crazy. Spiders are not worth messing with. But you guys have scary spiders here too. They're just tiny, and they usually don't try and live in your house. when I was a baby, the house that that I was in for a couple of months before we moved, as like a newborn. The It was super old, and the bathroom was actually detached from the house. And my mum was telling me that she uh, had to do the old check under the toilet seat for spiders thing, because it would happen at least like once a week that she'd find a little friend under the toilet just hanging out, wanting to bite your butt. That's back in the 80s though, so don't worry. If you ever visit Australia and you are sticking to like the cities and stuff, then you got nothing to worry about. It's funny whenever Americans ask me about the wildlife and what it's like to live in Australia. It's like, yes, all these things are true that you've heard, but only if you like venture out of the cities. So there's really nothing to worry about. But there's a lot of things that want to kill you in Australia. I got stung by a baby blue-ringed octopus. Thankfully it was a baby when I was a teenager. They're very poisonous. I was on holiday. I had a sucky rest of the holiday. Did not get to go to the beach and play for the rest of the holiday. They're very pretty, those octopus though. Octopi. Alright, we're going to do the bits in this flower, in this colour, and then I think that is that yellow done. Oh no, I forgot this flower bottom. We'll do the flower bottom first. I was going to work on my commission tonight, but I finished it today. Sorry, I'm just going to bring it closer. My eyes are not what they used to be. Yeah, I finished my commission today. So I'm actually going to use it to do a blog post. I'm going to do a blog post on framing your finished pieces, or mounting, I guess, more specifically, finished pieces, because this one is being mounted on a board. So yeah, I'm just going to take a bunch of photos while I finish it off tomorrow. But I'll show you guys. I just find it fascinating learning how others grew up, especially if they're from a different area. Yeah, it's... Oh, my piece fell on the floor. That's not great. About to blow into the microphone, that would have been great. Here's the piece. I love it. I kind of went a bit over the top with the florals, but I think it looks good. So yeah, I'm going to mount that tomorrow. Well, if it doesn't want to hang up, then actually no, it will. I just need to not have that in the way. I've got my board as well. I can go there. Alright. Yeah, I grew up in the eastern suburbs of Victoria, which is Melbourne. sorry, eastern suburbs of Melbourne in Victoria, I should say. So I was about an hour east of Melbourne. Which is not far because traffic. The road system in Melbourne is not great. It's better than Sydney. It's better than Sydney. Sydney is a disaster. If you ever want to drive around in Sydney, you need to make sure that you are okay with driving on the other side of the car and the road to begin with. That was a whole learning process, believe me. But also understand that Sydney-siders are pricks and will toot. They're not as bad as like New York, I guess, where when it comes to just the sheer amount of tooting. But New York, from what I understand, tooting is like a communication more. It's a lot more usually friendly, whereas Sydney is more like, what the fuck you doing? Are you a fucking moron? Get the fuck out of my way. Like it's a rude. Florals are really nice. Thank you. I hope my customer likes the florals. Man, the post I did today on Instagram, whew, with this, this is like, it's gotten so much attention. I was considering not even posting it, to be honest. Because it's like, oh, this is kind of boring. One thing that I do miss though, which not as much as when I was a teenager, I will admit, but my kids will potentially miss out on, is the public transport in Australia is so much better than it is in America. Public transport here sucks. And I relied on public transport for a long time. Especially in Melbourne, if you can avoid it and you know where you want to go and everything, going into Melbourne using public transport is so much better than taking a car. Parking's just dodgy and expensive. Think LA when it comes to parking. Yeah, man. What was I looking for? Oh, I was checking my pen. Duh. Look up and I forget what I'm doing. My brain is silly. I need to get to the dark purple because these poor animals, they're missing half their legs. It's a bit sad. Can't Found it. There we go. Yeah, there we go. I'm having trouble finding the freaking holes at the moment. Gonna have to get a new cut of thread. Come on. Alright, let's get some new thread happening while I'm at that point. Because we are not playing floss chicken with that much to go and that much thread left. I like me a good game of floss chicken, but I know that if when I know that I'm not going to succeed, I don't want to play. Let's flip it over so you can look at it while I load the needle again. Oh, the needle minder is an Australian bird, by the way. You can get them here, but it's called a budgie or budgerigar. I just think it's cute because it's a little fat budgie. Plus, it looks pretty similar to a budgie that I had as a pet when I was a kid. And his name was Cappy. Because he had a little white spot on top of his head. But he had a grey head where this needle minder's head is white. I loved Cappy. And he loved me. The crook of my nose, the bridge of my nose, that was his favourite place to be. He gave me lots of kisses. Oh my gosh. There we go. If it wasn't clear, I'm doing this on 18 count with 2 strands. That's how I'm able to do the loop start. But having so much trouble. Also, loop start is best start. I cannot remember how I learnt about the loop start. It was a very long time ago. I think it is the bomb. I use it as often as I can. Which on 14 count is never. I use 3 strands on 14 count, which is not an even number of strands. Alright, that is the yellow? That yellow. No, the yellow. Alright, we're gonna backtrack to a previous color that I didn't have in my ring of colors. And that's because it's in this stitch along, which is the Haunted Library stitch along. And I never took it out to attach to this one. Alright. This one being this stitch along. Looks like two little squares next to each other. The symbol, that is. Not that you guys can see. Sorry, I'm not sharing the pattern. Alright. Oh wow, there's not a lot. How many stitches? 36. Oh no, there is a lot more. Okay, that's fine. We're going to finish off the rest of this flower. See? Loop start is best start. I'm gonna undo my needle if I have it that short. So I'm trying to think of if I do feel like doing some design work tonight. I've got the second pattern of the series that I released recently. That one's being test stitched. I'm thinking aloud right now basically. I have the third one ready for me to send to my test stitcher. I mean, I've got other ideas. I just need to work out what I want to do. Ooh, I loved watching the Haunted Library stitch along. It turned out gorgeous. Yes. I'll show you where I'm at with that one. Because I haven't touched this one for a few months now. So I got to zoom out a bit. Because it's big. Oop, upside down. Yeah, I stopped mid stitch. I haven't actually looked at this since I was stitching it. But I eventually couldn't keep up. So I haven't even trimmed like those little bits. These little fluffy bits are the loop start that I can do with an odd number of strands. Which I do have a really, really old reel on. I might make a new one. It was just as reels were introduced on Instagram. Anyway, so I was doing 2 sections at a time once I started to fall behind. So I was working on this section and the floating books here and this section down here at the same time. So the floating books are actually part of this one, but they kind of look like they're part of this anyway. But yeah, so that's my stitch along. I'm going to pick that up again when it's a bit closer to Halloween, I would say. Did I empty this out? I did. Okay. That can actually go with this project. Alright. There we go. Yes, that was a very, very cool stitch along. She was releasing them once a week, and I could not keep up. Especially once October hit and I had all my ornaments, like the process of the ornaments started happening. And I have to get a new cut of floss already. I had 3 quite short cuts of this colour, which is a bit odd. Oh no, it's not odd, because my Haunted Library stitch along is actually on 14 count, which I'm a bit bummed at. I really like big pieces on 18 count. I can't even remember what happened to make me do it on 14. I think it was that I didn't want to go and get more fabric, but I didn't want to do it on white, based on the suggestion of the pattern designer, Lola Crow. And I had a really good, great sized piece of fabric that I could use in 14 count. Oh well. It looks cool. It was a lot of stitching, yes. I totally agree. I was amazed whenever people would post in the Facebook group that like their stitched version of each section, and just how quickly some people were doing it. I was just like, wow. Like, you are fast, and this is like your main thing that you're stitching. That's just kudos to you. Cannot keep up. I really like some of the alterations that some people did as well. Like, I saw there was someone who was posting quite frequently in that group that did theirs on probably something like 32 even weave or 34 or whatever, but just like they were stitching 2/1, and in some sections they were doing 1/1 so that they could edit the pattern and make it extra detailed. It looks really cool. This is the only part. I'm pretty sure this is the only section, only bit of this color on this pattern. I don't see the symbol anywhere else. This designer does, who uses amazing colors together. She's been stitching a pattern that she's designed, like she's test stitching it, which is so pretty. And she's been stitching it on black, and it looks amazing. But oh my gosh, with all of the, she's prone to doing lots of little bits by themselves, like a lot of confetti stitches is what I'm trying to say. And doing that on black, oof. There we go. I've got martial arts tomorrow, and I'm like, ah, about it. I'm so nervous. I shouldn't be. Like, there's no reason to be nervous. Everyone is super supportive, and I'm not like, it's not like I'm a black belt that's taken a break and has become super unfit and has forgotten all of the stuff that she should know. I'm a yellow stripe who is unfit. But like, sorry, I just caught up. It's by Lola Crow, right? Yes. They have such good patterns. Yes, I agree. I've only done her stitch along. This pattern is by Flossy Fox Shop, to be clear. I love stitching on black. I love having stitched on black. I don't love stitching on black though. I like stitching on charcoal because it's a bit easier to see, and it's just, it feels softer visually, but it doesn't work for every pattern, of course. What am I doing? Messing up! I want to end in the little square. I've had to unpick 3 sections of this. You can kind of see where I've had to unpick. This fabric's really stiff. I'm trying to use a small needle. If I go too small though, I have trouble threading the needle. And I don't like needle threaders. They always snap on me. I haven't stitched on charcoal yet, but I have some in my stash just waiting for pattern. Yeah, so I have 18 count stashed away. 18 count charcoal, I think. Could be black actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And I bought it with a pattern in mind, and I cannot remember what the pattern was. Whoops. I went to the little local craft store that's sort of local. It is my most local. That's not a major chain craft store today, and I got some floss, and I got some more thread conditioner, and I so wanted to go over to the fabric area and buy 1 or 2 rectangles of fabric, and I was very good and I didn't. I have so much fabric in my stash. I don't need any more. Isn't that the way? Yes. Oh my gosh. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, I'm going to chuck that bit out. Okay, so that's 2 colours finished tonight. What am I up to? Ooh, hot, neon blue. This one. Whoa. How many stitches we got? 80. Okay. Okay, I can do that. I think this is the flower. Yes. This flower. And it's also this fairy too. And that's it. Yeah. Alright, we'll do the fairy first because it's got less squares. But on the topic of martial arts, I'm very glad to be back. It was very nerve-wracking to go there on Monday night. But my friends were there, who are now 2 belts higher than me, which sucks. But I totally expected that. I did not expect people to be like, oh, well, Kate's not going to be there for 4 months. I should probably take a break and not get any new belts. Just so that we're the same belt rank. Thursday classes are 20 minutes longer than Monday classes, and the teacher is tough. He's very nice, but he's tough. Works you hard. But everybody that works there knows my situation and will not be surprised if I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to just go tap and hope that that stops the autofocus from going crazy. Oh my gosh, come on. Where's the hole? There we go. These little fairy dudes are very cute. I like the purple one, this one over here. The 2 colours together are really nice. Makes me actually want to do some kind of design using those kinds of pastel colours. I don't know what. Alright, we have a little fairy body, I guess. And now the flower. This is like the main edges of the flower, this colour. Yeah, we'll start at the top, the highest points. I think maybe not tomorrow. I planned on doing an actual newsletter today. Just didn't happen. Totally forgot. But what even happened today? What did I do? I hate it when that happens. I'm like, can't even remember what I did during a day. What did I do? Oh, I worked on the commission piece. So I did do something constructive. And other stuff because I didn't do that all day. Anyway, I meant to send off a email. What was I going to say before that? No, I've lost it. It's gone. Stupid brain. I'm busy tomorrow anyway. Apart from class, I have to go through our garage. It should be so fun. We have a rubbish collection coming to our place. Like I've hired a junk removal thing because we have a garage that is half full of boxes and old toys and that are not like worth donating and other stuff that we don't want. And so I need to go through and divide up the stuff that we want to keep from the stuff that we want to get rid of. And I need to do that before they come on Friday. And today's Wednesday, which means tomorrow's Thursday, so yeah, running out of time. Man, I'd really like to know what the thing was that I was going to say, because I feel like it was something important. Am I doing the right thing? No, I just shouldn't have done one there. That was just total autopilot, assuming that I know where to stitch. I really like the leaves on these flowers. I was stitching those at the library on Monday. That was Monday was a whole thing. My kids didn't have school on Monday. So I had planned on taking them to the children's museum that's, like a half-hour drive from our place. And I had so many things that I had to do and organize and prepare before we could go. And so it took me 2.5 hours to get us ready to get out of the house. I pile us all into the car finally. I open up my phone to punch in the directions, or just look it up to get the directions, and I find out that the place is closed. My kids were so disappointed. They did really well, sitting with their disappointment and not turning it into anger. But man, so instead we went to the local library. We were there for about an hour and a half. I took my stitching and I just sat in a spot where I could see both of my kids, and they just potted around and played on the computers and looked at the books and all that. So it wasn't all bad, but man, I felt so crappy. I was hyping up the kids' museum and everything. You know what I should do? Oh no, I can track back. This is a very blue flower. I keep double checking the pattern because I'm like, I don't believe that this is all this one color, but it is. Okay, so we're gonna go up and then come back down. Oh, I love the bright colors. Me too. It's what's drawn me to this designer. I did her blackwork foxes, which is this, and it's just super bright. Some of the colors, like all of these colors, I'm pretty sure, are in this as well. She tries to use a limited palette across all of her designs. That's what it seems like anyway. And I started working on another pattern of hers before the Stitch Along was released, which also has lots of bright colours. Is that the right thing? Yeah. I like the quilted pond they have with the ducks. Oh, sorry, this pattern is adorable, but I know I'd hate stitching it to me. Disconnect. Yes, there is a lot of confetti stitches, and I don't like carrying my thread. I know a lot of people don't mind, but like it actually really bugs me to do. I will actively go out of my way to not carry my thread. Oh, I missed this bit up here. Okay, I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna not cut corners, and I will do it properly. Quilted pond. Let me look that up because I don't know that. Put this back in here. Got some more desk space. No, that's not what I meant to do. So the one that I was working on is the Enchanted Fairy Forest map. Oh yeah. It's not my style, like that I enjoy to work on, but it's a lot better when it comes to um, confetti stitches. I shouldn't get distracted. Like scrolling through her shop now. But like this is the back of my work. As you've seen me flip over so many times, like I will cut my thread. You can tell with all the yellow little stars. Um, I will actively go out of my way to not carry my thread. My feet are hot, so I just took off my socks. Yeah, I probably won't ever stitch it too much already on my. Yeah, I understand that. I try to count my works in progress, not even considering stuff that I haven't even started, patterns that I would like to work on. And every time I'm always like unable to count it because I just remember the next day or in a week, oh yeah, I've got that as well. Gonna have to get some more floss. I think the little purple bits, yeah. So like these three little purple squares, I did carry the thread, but I carried it nicely. I threaded it through the back. Alright, let's deal with this. So much ambition, so little time. Yep. Yep. I know what you mean. If only we could add even just an hour to every day. Could sacrifice an hour of sleep. Don't think that would be a good idea. I don't recommend you do that. Ignore that. Pretend I never said that. Once we've moved away from the very corner of the fabric, this will be a lot easier to work on, I think. Look at look at all this extra fabric I've got bundled up. This is folded over 3 times and this is folded over twice. Come on. There we go. Is that right? Yes, too high. What's the time? Oh, wow. Okay. It's a lot later than I expected. Sometimes you just need a second to just detach from what's going on. I was talking to my therapist in my session this week about the fact that, because I didn't have a session last week, so my therapist got COVID. I was telling her that about the pattern that I released last week. She thought it was funny. She didn't seem as amused with the two that I have designed that's coming up. But not in a bad way. What color is the cow? Oh wow, it's the second last color. I shouldn't have done that stitch there. Yeah, I'm gonna get this, which I should have done a while ago, but I forgot. Which means I'm gonna have to go, whoop, not like that. Well, Zoe, you're still here. Whoops. Okay. So the problem with using the desk stand is now you get to see the camera. Are you doing the colors in number order? Yes. That's generally what I do. I generally follow the the colors in the pattern order, and so most patterns do them in number order, which I appreciate. But there are a couple of patterns that I've done in the past that are really, really old that they're in color order. Those ones are kind of fun because it's like the piece grows in a way, and it's different. So instead of it just appearing in a random sort of sporadic array of colors, it's like, yeah, I don't know how else to describe it other than it grows. But yeah, these are all done in, or this one's being done in number order. I know people mostly like to do their stitching in sections. So like someone might want to do the cow first, so they would do all the colors that are in the cow, and then they would, maybe do the pig next, and they do all the colors that are in the pig. And I know this just feels like less brain work for me, and that's what I like about cross stitch. It's very meditative. What are you doing, Zoe? If you haven't watched my latest floss tube, there are a few times where my camera goes haywire because I had Zoe in her little cat box on my desk, and she kept shifting at one point, and my camera is mounted to a tripod that's attached to my desk. So every time she would move, my camera was like, whoa! Lovely. Yeah, I bump it. That's the problem. Eh, eh, eh. There we go. There we go. Next color. What do we got? A pink. Actually, I think it's a red. It's like a pinky red. That. I'm surprised that my mum hasn't come in to say hello. She asked me last week if I was streaming, but she asked me the wrong day because she's in Australia. So she asked me when it was Thursday night. And yeah, she's sort of, I've gotten the impression she's kind of been like, when are you going to stream next? Alright, we are a little pound sign. Okay. So I've been trying to think of what I want to do as my next sampler design. I'm kind of tossing up between two things, and that is Schitt's Creek and Doctor Who. And I don't know which one to do first. And I'm thinking Schitt's Creek will be another 8-inch hoop design, like my Umbrella Academy one, which I actually want to do an update to. Someone who stitched the pattern since the latest, like they did it after the latest season aired. They changed Vanya to be, oh my god, what's Victor? And I thought that was really good, like a really cool idea. So I am wanting to do an edit where you can pick whether you like Vanya, because the design is technically based on season 1. So you could stitch it with Vanya, or you could stitch it with Victor. Aliens, always aliens. I've just been watching, I'm rewatching Doctor Who at the moment. Is that the right spot? Yep, apparently. Yeah, I haven't watched the old Doctor Who, and I don't really have any inclination. I'm not a fan of old TV shows. If that makes sense. So it would be a sampler based on the new Doctors, so from number 9 onwards. But the other thing that I'm trying to figure out is, do I want to maybe do a smaller sampler, so again the 8-inch size, and do each Doctor, like each iteration of the Doctor, as its own sampler? Because there's so much for each Doctor, and there's so many seasons that it's like, it feels impossible to consolidate all of that into one sampler. But yeah, I'm currently into Matt Smith's Doctor again. What episode am I on? Because I was actually watching it listening to it while I was trying to fix my setup. I'm on episode 12 of season 5. Look at the little heart. Isn't it cute? Well, I guess I'm not doing any pattern designing tonight. I guess I still could. Not really. Come on. Thank you. The other thing I was thinking, in a similar vein, was American Horror Story. And do each season as its own design. And that's a lot of seasons. And I would have to rewatch it. Plus, it's a lot of characters. So yeah, that one's a bit like, What are the other ones that I have? The other designs, other fandoms. Sherlock, Arrested Development, and Monty Python. Man, I need to go through this book again. I got so many ideas in this blue book. Stuff that's already finished is really good. Which is why, a part of the reason why doing each Doctor for Doctor Who would be ideal. I'm not a fan of Christopher Eccleston's Doctor. Plus, it's only one season, so like, I would definitely not start with him. But it was important for the Rose story setup, obviously. And then I'd have to figure out, well, do I combine the 10th Doctor with the 14th Doctor? I wouldn't. Whoa! Okay. My desk stand just came off. Could we not do that? Thanks. Alright, we got one more little tiny heart to do over here. Apparently it's 10:30. I have my computer set up to tell me that it's 10:30 if my computer's on. Because I am prone to losing track of the time, and I'm prone to just stay up given the chance. And that way I'm like at least reminded, and it's pointed out to me, well, you might want to consider going to bed pretty soon. Who needs sleep? Exactly. Sleep is for the weak. It's overrated. That's a really nice color. That's the other thing with this pattern and this designer. Like, I'm just finding colors that surprise me that I actually don't hate. They look too garish or something by themselves, but then when you actually stitch them in a pattern, then it's like, oh, that's not bad. Alright, the purple. We're going to do some legs. I thought to myself for a second, I could totally get this done tonight if I wanted to stay a little bit longer. And then I remembered that the cow hasn't been done. We're not going to do that. Because who needs sleep? But also I like sleep. And I'm one of those very lucky people that if the room is dark and I'm laying down, I can go to sleep like that. It's very good. It's very nice. It drives my husband batshit crazy because he's an insomniac. But it's so good. 10 out of 10 recommend being able to just go to sleep with no problems. These animals aren't going to be amputees anymore. I just realized I should do like a Instagram story, not a post, but just a story before I send out my newsletter in case it like drives a couple more subscribers or something for people who want to see what I have to write about. I'm still trying to remember the thing that I was going to say before I interrupted myself. Me and my annoying brain. Sigh. I'd like to get the legs done tonight. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of time. I could probably get this colour done, honestly, not just the legs. So let's aim for this colour to be completed. I just realized that in Australia right now, it's Australia Day. So, happy Australia Day to anyone that is watching from across the pond. And hashtag change the date. And if you're in America, it means that if you go to an Outback Steakhouse, then you get a free dessert, I believe. Tomorrow, that is, the 26th. But you gotta say that you know that it's Australia Day, or something like that. Have I really been doing it that far off? Wow. I'm so bad at remembering to check my camera position. I apologize if that was totally in the wrong spot. I hate it when that happens. Oh really? I think I might need to go out for dinner tomorrow. I'm not sure if that's if you get a free dessert, but I believe that you get something if you point out that it's Australia Day tomorrow. Yeah, January 26th is Australia Day. I've actually never been to an Outback Steakhouse. I've meant to for a couple of years now. I don't even know if there are any in Washington. Are there? And if so, where's the closest one? I can't go tomorrow because my daughter has therapy. But like next year is a leap year, which means it'll be on a Saturday. So I should be able to go next year. Find location. I was about to say my zip code. Oh my god! There's one like half an hour away from me. By the way, a bloomin' onion is not a thing in Australia. What even can you buy? All I know about is bloomin' onions. Yeah. I don't want to order something. I want to look at a menu. Their menu and their order now buttons go to the same place. I don't want you to know my location, thanks. And now their menu button goes to a location thing. View menu. Aussie Tizers. What the fuck is an Aussie Tizer? Yep, bloomin' onion, that's not a thing. Aussie cheese fries. Yeah. Okay, without the ranch, yeah. A scratch off card with special offers on January 6th is what I'm finding. Kookaburra wings. That sounds horrendous. Okay, the chicken wings. I was gonna say kookaburras. You don't know. Grilled shrimp on the barbie. Yep, fair enough. Gold Coast coconut shrimp. Yep, fair enough. Seared pepper ahi. Yeah, I mean, Aussies like seafood. I don't, but steak, steakhouse potatoes and sides. The not steaks. Is that like chicken? Yeah. Pork chops. Ooh, I love pork. No, I love lamb. Sorry. Grilled chicken on the barbie. That would be good. Alice Springs chicken. Mushrooms, bacon, cheese, cheddar, and honey mustard. Ugh. I'm a really picky eater. Queensland chicken and shrimp pasta. What? Why is it Queensland? Hand breaded chicken tenders. Kingsland steak and shrimp pasta. Why has it got an asterisk? What does that mean? Yeah, it's just standard steakhouse fare as far as I can tell with themed names. Yeah. Salad. Okay. Ooh. That sounds pretty nice. Sammy's and burgers. Yeah, we do call them Sammy's. What beers? They're all American beers. That's so funny. Uh, yeah, the fresh strawberry lemonade. That's very American because you guys, your lemonade is disgusting. Lemonade here is the pits. Lemonade in Australia is carbonated. It's like it's like Sprite but lemon flavored. I love lemonade in Australia. Asterisk is usually for the undercooked meats can cause foodborne illness. Okay. I wonder if the lemonade that it says, not the fresh strawberry lemonade, I wonder if lemonade is the American lemonade. High C is not a thing in Australia. New York style cheesecake. I mean, it's literally called a New York style cheesecake. Chocolate Thunder from Down Under. Extra generous pecan brownie topped with rich vanilla ice cream, warm chocolate sauce, chocolate shavings, and whipped cream. That sounds amazing. I could go one of those. Oh, okay. So when they've got a boomerang next to it, it's an Outback signature item. Fair enough. There's some photos at the bottom. Gingerbread cookie martini. What? It looks so cute. Anyway, that's enough of that. That was funny. Thank you for going on that entertainment trip with me. I've never actually been to a regular steakhouse either. One thing I miss a lot, two things actually, when it comes to fast food that I miss a lot from Australia is a fish and chip shop and a chicken shop. So a fish and chip shop is what it sounds like. It's a place that sells fish and fries, but they're chips because they're not. But fries in Australia are like shoestring fries over here, and chips is like your thick cut. What do you call it? I can't remember. But yeah, like thick cut fries. That's what you would normally get in most places except for McDonald's in Australia. And there's lots of different types of fish, and you can also get things like dim sims and potato cakes and sides like coleslaw and stuff like that. But a grilled or battered flake, which is a type of fish, and minimum chips, you'd say, is just mwah, it's amazing. And it's always got chicken salt, and I would usually ask for extra chicken salt, which I'm so sad is not a thing in this country. I get my mum to send me chicken salt so that we can put it on our chips whenever we buy chips or fries, whatever you want to call them. Because chicken salt is the best. It's so good. And in a chicken shop, it's pretty much the same thing. You would get, it's like rotisserie chicken, and it's just covered in salt, basically. So it tastes amazing. And they always have the best chips because they use the fat from, well, they combine the fat from the rotisserie chickens to cook the chips. And they have chicken salt, and they just taste so good. Like I'm now wanting to just fly over to Australia and go to what used to be my local chicken shop and just get a quarter chicken and chips. That's what I would get. So good. So much salt, so much chicken. Yum. Well, it was interesting seeing an Australian reacting to Outback Steakhouse's menu. Sounds amazing. Yes, chicken shop is the best. It's like it's the worst lunch you could have because there's like no vegetables except the chips, I guess, they're potatoes. But like no greenery and no grains or anything like it. Just chicken and potato, like so good. And you can't get any similar thing like those two places in America. Whenever I find somewhere that will do fish and chips, it's never the same. But I generally order that because it's like it's as close as I can get. The other thing I miss is bread in Australia. Bread is just bread in America is full of sugar, and bread when it's cooked properly without being loaded full of sugar is just so good. I remember sidetrack. I remember getting a couple of my American friends to try chicken salt when they came over to visit one time. And so I just like oven baked some frozen fries so that we had something to put it onto. And yeah, put a nice sprinkling of chicken salt onto them, and they were just like, why don't we have this here? This is amazing. I also got them to try Vegemite. That was funny. Which reminds me, I need to double check my Vegemite stash before my mum comes over to visit next month. Because Vegemite here is very expensive. Sounds like there's an opening for you to start your own chicken shop. No, I'm not going to do that, but thank you. I'm not interested in hospitality. What is going on with my thingy? Table stand. There we go. Okay. It's just like off slightly. Yeah, whenever I've had friends, American friends, try Vegemite, it's always been like me explaining what not to do. because I grew up eating Vegemite, and so I actually really like it. And plus, the taste palette of an Australian is very different from an American. So you guys grow up eating things with lots of sugar, so everything needs sugar for it to taste good. And in the same way, we grow up with everything tasting salty. And it, has its own issues, but it means that something like Vegemite, which is very salty, doesn't taste bad for most of us. So it is an acquired taste. I remember back when I was in San Diego, I had 3 mum friends. We all had kids that were the same age as my oldest, and they were all willing to try Vegemite at the same time. And we didn't have anything to put it on, I believe. Amazon has chicken salt. Yeah, let me look it up. Hang on. That's not the right stuff. If you're looking at Jada spices, don't get that. The Mitani, that one, Chippy. Get the Chippy one. That's the one my mum sends across to me. That one is good. That is a good one. I know it's $10.80, but that's actually really good to know that it's on Amazon, actually. You don't want it to be reduced sodium as well, by the way. I know that is a good thing, but you don't want it to be reduced sodium. You want it to be salty. It is. You use it instead of salting chips or fries. So if you actually want to try it, get the chippy flavored, the original chicken chippy flavored salt, which is Anchor as the brand. That's the one that I have all the time. But yeah, the Mitani classic chicken salt as well. That one would be good too. The first 3 that popped up were Mitani, Miron Mixton, and Chippy. Oh yeah, I didn't see Miron Mixton. But the Jada spices, don't get that. If you see that, if you scroll. Oh, Miron Mixton. Yeah, don't get Miron Mixton either. That's not the right kind of stuff. Saxa, that's a good brand as well. But yeah, the Chippy one, that's a good one. And yes, you want to use it instead of salting your fries. It's basically, if I can remember correctly, chicken salt is basically just like chicken, ground up chicken, and salt cooked, and then the crystallized remnants is chicken salt. Back in Australia, KFC is a very different company. They have a very different menu. They actually have fries or chips, they call them, there. Whereas I know in America they don't have chips. You get wedges only. You can get wedges in Australia as well. But their chicken salt, KFC's chicken salt, is like the best. That isn't a mum and pop kind of locally owned place, because those places always have the best chicken salt. McDonald's don't do chicken salt in Australia. That's really good to know that that's on Amazon, actually. What kind of prices is Vegemite? I haven't checked for ages. That's not bad. If you ever get Vegemite, yeah, 170 grams will last you a long time as well. I think that lasts us at least like 6 to 9 months, and that's all 4 of us using it. Oh, actually, that's really expensive for the Vegemite. Oh my gosh, $37. 220 grams. Oh, that's a 3-pack. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so what I was saying, if you ever get Vegemite, never get the squeezy stuff. That's rank. You got to get it in a glass jar. It's so much cheaper in Australia, though. Oh, the other thing. Let's keep talking about Australian food, shall we? The other thing that I find amusing is Tim Tams in America. So they taste the same, thankfully, and you guys don't have it. So Tim Tams in Australia are kind of like Oreos in America, where there are so many flavors in Australia. Whereas with Oreos in Australia, there's only original, that's it. And it's not like you can't get double stuff or anything like that in Australia. At least, granted, this is from 7 years ago when I lived in Australia. But Tim Tams in America are packaged in America because they call them cookies on the packaging. And I find that very amusing because they are not cookies. They are biscuits. You can't get the best flavor of Tim Tams in America. The best flavor is dark chocolate. And I'm not a dark chocolate person, but it's like pretend dark chocolate. It's still very milky, and it's so much better than milk chocolate Tim Tams, which are amazing on their as they are. They're just so much better as dark chocolate. Fair, fair. I won't buy coffee in a plastic container. It tastes rank. That's fair. But yeah, Vegemite's got to be in a glass jar, which obviously makes it tricky, and that's why it's a lot more expensive to import it across because they've got to be extra careful. Alright, I'm not going to finish this purple, but I'm going to do these 2 legs. And I just realized that I didn't this again. Oh, why are you shifting all of a sudden? I don't actually drink coffee. I'm one of those people that bitter tastes are disgusting to me. And I also hate the smell of coffee. I've grown up to tolerate it. Alright, I'm going to get this in the right spot this time before I begin stitching. There we go. Yeah, when I was a teenager and like in my 20s, I couldn't stand the smell to the point of like needing to actively avoid my husband if he'd had a cup of coffee. Poor man. If he was to like walk up to me and go at me after drinking a cup, I would recoil though. But now I can at least tolerate being in the same room as a cup of coffee that's been prepared. It's hard to keep stitched on screen. It is. When I keep flipping it over, it makes it tricky. Alright, there is one tiny little purple square to finish the ear on this pig. So I'm going to remember to do that as well as the other leg. Look, the cow has legs and the pig has legs. Yay! I really like the idea of doing the back legs, as in the legs that are behind, in these dark kind of colors, rather than a dark version of what the color of the leg would be. Like, I just think that's really a clever way of using the available colors. Alright, we're going to do this and then we're going to carry the thread. But I'm going to do it nicely. Oh, what are you doing? There we go. Ah! Yay! There we go. Alright, am I in the right spot? No! Well, I am, but oh my gosh, it's so fuzzy. Focus! There we go. Once I've done this leg, I'm gonna wrap it up there. So this pig, if I'm remembering it correctly, is a transformed dragon, and that's why it has wings. Which is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what February's release looks like. Stitch-alongs are very weird. It's like you're trusting the designer and while you're stitching it. That's cross-stitch patterns, stitch-alongs, I mean. Embroidery ones are usually you see what it looks like. Obviously not every designer does that, but hooray! Let's move it up a bit. Oh, no, I don't want to zoom in. Go back. Yay! And how much work I did. I will totally be able to get this done before the next release, which I don't remember when it is. I was telling myself I got to get it done before February, because it'll be at some time in February. But it was supposed to be the 6th that this was released. So maybe if she's doing like the first Friday of every month, it'll be Friday week, so the 3rd, which is plenty of time to get the rest of this done. But yeah, very cool. After this purple, I've got 3 colors to go. There's a blue, which is like the rest of the wings on both of the little fairies. The rest of the flower, well, not the rest, but most of the flower, the rest of the wing outline, like the front wing, and some little bits here. I don't know what these things are, but they're cute. And then the brown, of course, so that's the cow. And then this little line here for the butterfly. And then white, which will fill in random bits. So like in the wings of the two little fairies, in this there was little bits of white in this flower. There's white spots on the cow and on the pig, and some white in the wing. And then it's all done. Like, that's cool. Sure. Alright, well, I have stuff that I have to do after I finish a stream, which is just like uploading it to YouTube because it takes hours to upload it to YouTube. So I do it overnight. And yeah, I'll give Zoe some pats. She's kneading her little bed again. She's like very focused. And then I'm going to go to bed because I've got I was going to say a busy day, but no, I've just got an appointment and then class, which I need sleep for. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out. I'm going to be doing my best to get back into streaming on Wednesdays. I'm also, as of next week, hoping to get back into streaming on Instagram on Mondays. It's just out of the, how many Mondays we had? 1, 2, 3, 4 Mondays that we've had so far in this year. 3 of them my kids have been home for because they haven't had school on those Mondays. But as of next week, things are going back to normal until midwinter break. But anyway, so I will hopefully be streaming back over there pretty soon and trying out pattern designing on there as well as stitching and seeing, because I did manage to get a pattern designing stream sorted for Instagram. I just don't remember how I did it. But anyway, I will see you all around the internet. Thanks so much for hanging out. Have a good night. Bye.